everyone receive is a reflection of you.
Welcome. In light of recent events of the days and political debates, I bring to you today a thought. Moreover, an idea. For you see, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of politics. I'm tired of societal teachings, of hiding behind lies and false truths. This isn't one about misery or failure, but more of understanding or understanding and intrigue. So I say to you this: if I were to ask you a question, something as simple as, is the sky blue? Or moreover, does it appear to be blue? If you were to say to me, well, during the day it appears to be blue, but at night a darker shade, I would believe you because I can see the same. But if you were to ask or answer me the same question, but instead of saying yes, you were to say, well, it is according to research that the idea that the sky could be blue is misleading. And what is more important is the fact is that the cows that are tending on the grass are producing methane, and and you go on a tangent. Would I believe you? More or less, if I said the same thing to you, would you believe me? I think for 99% of the population in the world, that would be a no. For if it's something I can see and believe and I know to be true, and you lie to my face, I will not believe you. If it is a trend brought to you by society so that you see it a certain way, then I would not believe you. And if you would not believe me, then why do you believe the people in power about the things that matter to you the most? Especially with politics and people in positions of power to ideas and things we have known nothing about. Because you know nothing about, that is our weakness. And they play on that because they know they can, because you don't know anything. Not through lack of not being clever or smart, but because we don't know, because they write thousands of pages. Dot points and subheadings and subsections and 3-point A's and 10.2's with the subsection C. These are words on paper that mean nothing, and they hide behind the lies. Not only that, they are encroaching into your personal spaces and taking away everything that matters to you the most. But what happens when you don't have a choice and you have to choose between one or the other, and both are as bad as each other when you cannot trust them? Who do you believe when you are looking for answers, but no one is willing to lead? No one is willing to tell you the truth. No one should trust anyone who cannot talk the matters through, who cannot judge things to be judged as a human being, not as a person in a suit and a tie. Or a suit and a dress, it matters not. If I cannot trust you and you cannot tell me the truth, then why should I follow? Why should I lead? Even having a conversation or a debate should lead to openness and understanding so that you know what's happening. As boring as this is, in business management and leadership essentials, we are always taught that if you want people to follow or to understand why things are happening, you need to tell them the reasons why. You do not just implement something and tell them that's the way that it is, or point them into a direction where they know nothing about. People become dangerous not through violence, but through wisdom of the things that they are talking about. This is the whole reason why my previous employment terminated my employment. Because I knew more and I was dangerous. Not through lack of effort. There were things they could have done and sent me home. But because I was dangerous. Not through violent actions, but through wisdom and clarity. So when the world can see that the corruption and the lies are held behind a suit and a tie and a media presentation, and a person up front, no matter how good they appear or seem, cannot answer a question and diverts to tactics. These people are hiding the truths and the lies. There is more at play, and dictators are always going to try to manipulate away. And honest people can become flawed when it comes to certain matters of hierarchy of control. And it all comes down to a statement I've said many a time, and I'll say it again. You cannot fix a corrupt system. When it comes to war, the people supplying weapons supply it to both sides, so they don't lose, they win. It matters not whether they win an actual war, because money is their greed. So they make the arsenal for people to fight, so they create wars so that they make money. These are well-known aspects of political and military power. So if I ask you a question and you cannot tell me the truth, or you cannot ask me why I'm asking you to potentially find out the reasoning and the understanding, then what is a conversation? What is a good debate if you cannot do that? Why have we led people into this motion, or the idea that we just let them do what they want because we don't understand what they're doing? We know they don't answer questions. We should ask why. Ask yourself this question: if there is no live audience to witness something event, did it occur? Was it a replay? Was it scheduled? These are questions you always ask, not through fear or doubt, but through honesty and integrity of something that they have tried to remove from everyone. And this isn't a rally or a war cry. This is truth. This is that fundamental core belief of no more lies. We want the truth, expressed to everyone as it needs to be. No more manipulation held under acts through Parliament, money laundered through the mines and the minerals placed upon the earth that feed us. Give us back the reality. But you see, you cannot fix a corrupt government, so I don't understand why people try to enter the same corrupt government and try to fix it, all in the name of freedom, fixing poverty, fixing all of the problems with the healthcare. No, you see, these will never work under the current situation because no one is ever in power. The only way, truly, no matter where you are, is to create a new one. You don't try to take them down or push them apart. No, what happens in childcare, in groups, when you witness and you associate yourself to these things? When something becomes so much of a problem, what happens? Simpsons did it with the No Homers Club. Let's say there's a particular person or people that you don't like anymore. And what happens? Rather than bully them because you are more powerful than that, you create a separate group and have those same people join. Then this other person sees that everyone has joined that club. They are no longer in power and they feel not needed. This has been going on through time and eras all the time, but we forget that because we become complacent in life under rule and restrictions. So there is no different in using this same methodology to oversee the current state of governments. But you need to create a better one, a more powerful, unified, my apologies. And then people will join because your actions are right. But the problem is they think they own the world. Whether it's Tiamat or something else, it doesn't matter who actually is the benefactor of the earth that we walk on. We respect it and we create a new form. It doesn't have to be a government because that is governing over the top of people. It is called something else. And that is what we all come together for. All of this puppetry will be eradicated and removed because it no longer serves a purpose. It is a dying act. And it doesn't matter whether it's the left or the right, the up or the down or the middle or an independent. What matters is what you see. So I ask you this, if you are ever watching these sort of things, pay attention to what you see. And ask yourself that same question, how would you respond? And then how would you respond to that? For you see, it doesn't matter. The only way to fix it is if they have people placed in the roles that are able to do the same. And we are talking about a higher, more educated, highly civilized realm of beings to be able to do it. But see, why would you go through so much labor and effort or meditative mindset to create such a thing in humanity and the environment when you can just create a new one? That is far easier. That is costly a lot easier. The longer we as a culture and people stay stuck in the ideas and the setups of man prior to today, the harder and the longer it's going to take to get out of it. So I ask you this. What do you see in the people that should run the countries? What would you do? I don't look at things like healthcare or financials or fixing potholes. These are givens. These are things that you adopt the great principles over time and you communicate with everyone around the world. No, what I'm talking about is what would you do? Would you tell the truth? Would you release all the information to the public about all the things? There are certain people in privileged positions that know a certain amount of things, and then there are just puppets playing someone else's game. So would you tell the truth? Or in a saying here in Australia, they said you're either a pit bull or a puppy when it comes to politics. The pit bulls are the go-getters, the ones with the plans and the actions. They're the ones that are up front talking to you about policies. They are diverting answers and tactics and showing the strength as a leader or a false leader. And then you have the puppies. They're the ones that are going and getting all the information, the fact checkers. They're the ones that try to present, but in any fashion, no matter which way, they are just taking orders from the pit bull. We see in society, they have a trend because a pit bull is dangerous, so they say. And they put them down once they've got a taste of blood. Well, I say to this, why don't we put those pit bulls in their place? This is not violence or war. This is about showing them the fact that we know what they're up to. And we have for so long. It's just, why are we still here? So ask yourself this. Things will occur the way they need to occur. Everyone is waiting and assuming that these angelics and aliens will present themselves, and they probably will. In due time, they certainly will. However, the actions that we can take today about where we place our thoughts and our minds. And I don't mean in your personal matters, I mean in the civilization of things. The understanding of, I don't want that anymore. The fact that people are spending $200, $300, $400, $500 on shopping to feed your family. Outrageous. On what? Paper and plastic that's assigned and associated itself to a value for something that is naturally free. Everything stems from free. It's in the ground, it's grown, it's free, it's labor, it's time, and we've all been manipulated to follow this trend. I'm not tired or sick, I don't blame. I'm just saying enough is enough when we all just need to see. To all the followers and people who witness and listen, I thank you. And this message then is not for you. The message is more global, more reactive on a vibrational scale. For enough is enough, we need to grow. Not fight back with war, but with knowledge. Do you know how powerful it is to stand in silence and stare at someone while they're making a speech, waiting for a reaction, waiting for violence or anger, or cheering and hurrah, but silence, staring, turning one's back and walking away is much more powerful. So just with that, I leave you with peace and love. Take care.